It is that time of year again. The flowers are starting to bloom, the temperature is starting to get warmer outside, and the greatest tournament in all of sports is right around the corner. I am talking about March Madness, and this year I wanted to cover all the smaller schools that lock up bids to the tournament. The schools that seemingly come out of nowhere and upset the bigger name schools, the programs that make March Madness so special. With that being said, I thought there would be no better place to start than the team that locked up the first bid to go dancing, Southern Illinois University-Edwardsville, who is having their best season since joining the Division I level almost 2 decades ago. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college sports content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know who your Dark Horse March Madness pick is in the comment section below. So before we get into how SIU Edwardsville put together their special season and clinched a berth in March Madness, we need to take a look at their history to understand why this is so special. The program started in 1967, led by head coach Harry Gallatin, who would go on to be voted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Gallatin, after retiring from professional basketball, decided to get involved with coaching, serving as the head coach for the Southern Illinois, as well as the St. Louis Hawks and New York Knicks of the NBA. He arrived at SIU Edwardsville in 1966, serving as the assistant dean of students, became the school's first athletic director in 1967. Gallatin would have a tough task as the program had no scholarships, terrible facilities, and had no money. In 3 years, he coached the Cougars to a 19-31 record, as attendance was never that great. Jim Dudley would go 146 and 143 during his 11-year run, following Gallatin, who remained athletic director. Tom Puglisi would run the program into the ground, putting together a 17-40 record and earning the school NCAA sanctions that led to school administrators suspending the program in 1983. Larry Graham arrived in 1984 and brought the program to a lot of success. First of which, they finally got their own home stadium on campus after playing in Alton at Shirtlift College's gymnasium when they first started, and then at Edwardsville High School. Graham would lead the Cougars to the Division II tournament in 1986, 1987, and 1989, going on to become one of the greatest coaches in program history, finishing with a 147-84 record in 8 seasons, as the program would come back down to earth throughout the 90s under Jack Margenthaler, who went 112 and 150 in 10 years, before finding magic once again under Marty Simmons, who led them back to the Division II tournament in 2005 and making an Elite 8 appearance in 2006, going 88-59 in 5 seasons. In June of 2008, it was announced that SIU Edwardsville would be joining the Ohio Valley Conference, meaning they were going to be moving up to the Division I level from Division II. Due to the transition rules, they would not be eligible for postseason competition until the 2012-2013 season. The Ohio Valley Conference Commissioner, Dr. John A. Steinbrecher, told the media, "I am very pleased to welcome SIU Edwardsville as a member of the Ohio Valley Conference. The addition of SIUE makes us a stronger conference. After our evaluation of the university, it was clear that it is indeed a Division I institution, given the scope and breadth of its academic and athletic offerings. We fully expect SIUE, given its past history and tradition and the commitment they have shown with the budget and facilities, to be very competitive as a Division I institution. The addition also gives us a presence in the St. Louis market, something that is very important to our league. The Cougars would have a natural rival with Southeast Missouri State, and a rivalry they would develop. They joined a conference that included Austin Peay, Eastern Illinois, Eastern Kentucky, Jacksonville State, Murray State, SEMO, Tennessee State, Tennessee Tech, and Tennessee Martin. Lennox Forrester would be the man tasked for helping the Cougars transition to the Division I level and continue the success Simons found, who departed for his alma mater in the University of Evansville. Through Forrester's first 5 seasons, the program struggled, going 50-92, but the school felt he was helping the program improve, so they gave him an extension. During the 3-year transition as an independent, they would go 24-64. They would never win more than 12 games under Forrester, and after a 12-16 season during the 2014-2015 season, his staff would not be retained after putting together a 66-135 record at the Division I level. SIUE Athletic Director Dr. Brad Hewitt spoke on the decision, saying, Our win-loss record and program support are not where we believe it should be. California assistant John Harris, who was from Edwardsville originally, would be named the school's 8th head coach. Under Harris, the program would continue to struggle, going 6-22 in his first season, and his most wins in a season came during the 2018-2019 season, when the Cougars finished the season 10-21. Following that season, though, Harris would not be retained, finishing with a 31-88 record, but strangely, his full staff of assistant coaches, Brian Barron, Charles Bubba Wells, and Mike Waldo, as well as Director of Operations Casey Wiley, would all be retained. Barron would be named the school's interim head coach for the time being. Barron grew up in Chicago, Illinois, and played college basketball at Texas A&M as well as Marquette. He would start his coaching career at Central Florida Community College, where he was an assistant before joining Garden City Community College. He then joined Illinois State as an assistant in 2003, before joining Green Bay in 2010, where he served as an associate head coach in 2014. In 2015, he earned his first head coaching job at Butler Community College when he was passed over for the Green Bay job, before joining SIUE in 2017. He also served in administrative roles at Marquette in Indiana in the past. Barron would replace former Marquette teammate John Harris and had the interim tag removed and was named the school's next head coach. Under Barron, SIUE would struggle, going 8-23 in his first season and 9-17 in his second season, but they would break the double-digit win mark in his third season when they went 11-21. In his fourth season, they had their most wins at the Division I level in school history, going 19-14, while also having their most wins since the 2007-2008 season, where they first began the transition to the Division I level. The first time under Barron, though, in the 2023-2024 season, they would see a lower win total after improving every year under him when they went 17-16. Heading into the 2024-2025 season, the Cougars were picked to finish third in the Ohio Valley Conference, earning 2 first-place votes. Their 2 star players heading into the season would be Collinsville native Rayshawn Taylor as well as Milwaukee native Desmond Polk, who were both graduate student guards. They would start the season off beating Missouri Baptist in an exhibition game 87-56, before opening up the season against Westminster, who they blew out 95-42. They would then have back-to-back brutal Big Ten road games over a 2-day span, losing to Indiana and Illinois 90-58, before beating Indiana State on the road 77-72. They would then beat both Western Michigan and Canisius in Kalamazoo during the Bronco Classic, or losing to UW Green Bay surprisingly on the road 82-57. After 19 days on the road, they finally returned home where they beat St. Ambrose 83-49 before falling to North Florida 78-73. They opened up December with a win over Ball State 82-69 and closed out non-conference play against Eureka 100-52. They opened up Ohio Valley play on the road against conference favorites Little Rock, falling 60-56 before losing to rival SEMO. They rebounded with a 5-game win streak where they beat Western Illinois, Lindenwood, Eastern Illinois, Tennessee Tech, and Tennessee State before falling to UT Martin 85-82 on the road. They then went on a 2-game win streak, beating Southern Indiana and Morehead State before falling to Lindenwood on the road 65-63. To start off February, they would beat Western Illinois, Eastern Illinois, and Tennessee Tech before falling to UT Martin once again, this time at home 76-71. They would close out the regular season winning 3 of their last 5 games, beating Tennessee State, Morehead State, and Little Rock, but falling to Southern Indiana and SEMO. They would enter the Ohio Valley Conference tournament as the 2 seed, where they would take on 3 seed Tennessee State in the semifinals after earning a double bye. They would win the matchup, and this would set up a championship matchup against rival Southeast Missouri State, a team that had swept the Cougars during the regular season. To earn a bid to their first ever Division I NCAA tournament, all they had to do was beat their rival. Not only did they beat SEMO, they destroyed them, running away with the win 69-48 to win their first ever conference title in school history and win 20 games in a season for the first time since joining Division I. Taylor would be named the OVC Player of the Year and led the Cougars offense with 20 points during the championship game, while also having 7 rebounds and 4 assists. He will leave SIUE as the program's all-time leading scorer, just needing 48 points to break the 2,000-point mark. The Cougars' defense held the Redhawks to 13% from 3 and 1 of 17 of shooting during the final 6 minutes of the game. According to The Athletic's Lindsey Schnell, the Cougars are projected to be a 16 seed who will play in the first 4 in Dayton. One of my favorite stories is after the game, SIUE coach Brian Barron joined the ESPN broadcast and held up a framed pair of scissors. The scissors that he hung above the Cougars' locker room door 6 years ago with the intention of one day breaking the glass and using it to cut down the championship nets. The Cougars were the first team to lock up a March Madness bid, and it will be fun to see what they could do in March. What do you think? Who is your dark horse pick for this year's tournament? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.